And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day of the World Team League 2023 Winter Code S round number 3. I'm of course your host, Light VIP, and with me I'm joined by these lovely players and the lovely people in the chat, as well as we are here in day number 2 of this week. Last night we were of course casting day 1, which had quite a lineup. We had quite a number of matches. We had Storm Gaming going up against Team Basilisk, which was quite back and forth. We also had DKZ last night as well, and yeah, tonight we have some of the other lesser profile teams that are going to be facing off. We have the Starving Camels versus Starlight Twinkle, and I think this is going to be a really interesting one. Again, like, coming into the season, it's a little bit bittersweet, you know. The Starving Camels, they lost their ace player. They lost their ace player in Firefly, and they haven't replaced him. You know, they still got their trifecta of TooDming and of Silky and of Cyan as well. And together, can they overcome a team like Starlight Twinkle? It's going to be difficult. Like, Starlight Twinkle, unlike the Starving Camels, they have kind of boosted and bolstered their team with Wayne. So it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. But I believe it's always been an uphill battle for the Starving Camels. Like, nothing has changed in that respect, so we'll see if they can overcome once again and have another playoff run like we saw in the previous season. I hope so. I hope so. For now, we're just diving into our first matchup, and here we go, sporting the top left-hand corner for Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. And in the bottom right, we have for the Starving Camels, it is TooDming. Here we go. Okay, so as we ease our way into this matchup and into these lineups here, again, as a reminder, Starlight Twinkle, they are heavily reliant on their own players as well. They have Nice, they have Cham, and they have, not just Cham, they have Wayne as well, that they recently did pick up to replace Spirit in Spirit's absence, since he did get picked up by Storm Gaming instead, and there was a bit of a roster change and a bit of a shake-up when it came to the lineups of the teams. Wayne, I do think, fits very nicely into Starlight Twinkle as a good replacement for Spirit, but we'll see if it's going to be enough here. Nice has been struggling in this season of WTL so far, but it's still week 3. it's only been 2 weeks, you know, and Nice has been looking strong in the online weekly tournaments like GPO, like Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. So I want to believe he can reflect that here and now, and he's going to need to as well. Again, he needs to step it up here to support his teammates. Otherwise, we may see a repeat of Storm Gaming last season, where last season Storm Gaming, they had max packs like carrying hard, and the rest of his team really struggled to support him. Likewise, Wayne, he needs Cham and Nice to step it up here for Starlight Twinkle to have a chance at the playoffs. But here we go. As for the time being, relatively standard openers. We're talking about the Starving Camels a little bit as well. TooDming, he is not as high profile as Silky is what I would say, but he still comes in prepared. And I'm sure coming into this ZVP specifically, I'm sure he has some builds ready for this. We are loading into Golden Aura. The rush distance is really short by ground on this map, so I imagine TooDming may have some aggression planned. The opener is standard, don't get me wrong. Hatch gas pool, everything is looking as it should, but an earlier Roach Warren timing, you know, maybe a faster lair timing as well. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on TooDming definitely coming into this. I do think, I want to keep my eye on TooDming, but I have to look over to his opponent because Nice is opening up with the Twilight Council, not with a Stargate. Oh boy. Okay, so it's going to be a Twilight Council opener. We haven't seen the gases in the main yet, so we are unawares as to if he's pulled out of gas or if he's committing to gas, whether it's going to be Glaive Adepts or a Dark Shrine opener. Meanwhile, it looks like they don't have music in game mode, but that's okay. We'll be fine. We will be fine. Robo gets thrown down. The first step does slip into the main base. So far, we are keeping up, and we have not pulled out of gas. So this is looking a little bit more committed. This is looking like a Dark Shrine opener, but we'll keep our eyes peeled here in the direction that Nice wants to take us. It could be Glaives plus Dark Shrine as well if we haven't pulled out of gas. It could be 6 Gate Glaive Adepts, and there it is. Dark Shrine is thrown down. Alright, so with this we can move out with a couple of DT, with a couple of Dark Templar. What's important is that the DTs, they don't have to do game-ending damage. They can, you know, get across the map, and even if they don't kill any workers, we can still morph them into some Archons later on and go for some drop harass instead. DTs, they do have a little bit more leeway with them when it comes to the value they can give you, when it comes to the map control that they can grant you as well. Additional gateways are going to be thrown down, so it's going to be 4 gates in total here from Nice. Prism is on the way, and likewise, TooDming is fully aware that it's a Twilight Council based opener. TooDming, he hasn't scattered the opener specifically, so he doesn't know if it's going to be Glaives or DTs. He's still in the dark, but he's responding quite well here. You know, we have an early Roach Warren, we have Lings on the way. The Observer is pointing out that we haven't scattered anything. In a couple of seconds, TooDming should be getting safety spores. He hasn't yet. He still has a couple of seconds to do so, but again, the rush distance here on Golden Aura is a lot lower, so we should be seeing spores soon. Otherwise, this is going to get a bit out of hand. And here we go. The Roar Prism is coming across the map. I don't think we have any spores. I could have missed it. I could have missed it on the production. There we go. Spores are now on the way, but this is a little bit late. DTs are going to be warped in, but there we go. They are spotted by these things. They can be delayed. Those Spore Crawlers are still on the way, and can they finish in time? And where are they specifically? As the DTs are head towards the natural, and there is a Spore in production. Spore will finish in time. A couple of swipes do go off, but alas, the Spore finishes up and the DTs will be revealed. The Prism is being zoned away. Oh, but all 4 DTs are saved. But that was close. And oh my god, we are doubling down with Blink. Blink on those DTs are on the way. Okay, so we're going to be doubling down a little bit further. The Roaches are looking for said DTs, but it looks like they should be protected here. There's no mobile detection. There is no lair. At the same time, a lane counterattack going to try and force a cancel on this space, but there are defensive DTs. There are DTs everywhere, Poppy. They're aggressive across the map. They're back at home, and TooDming does not find any counter damage. Oh, not yet, at least. Lair is on the way. We're now droning. What's important is that TooDming, he has survived and he didn't lose any drones. He lost 0 workers here in this aggression, so a great move so far. But as I mentioned before, because it's a DT opener, you don't actually have to get damage done with the DTs because of this follow-up, because of the Archons. Archons are coming, DTs as well. There is no Spore here. There are no Overseers either. Queens are going down. The first one, soon to be the second as well. At the same time, there is a link counterattack, but we have a wall back at home. And so far, Nice, he is holding. He hunts down 2 queens. He gets an Overlord as well. Again, really good damage so far, despite how things started. And the DTs, it looks like, yeah, they defend back at home. They deny the 4th base. I don't know if that was a kill. I think that was a cancel. I hope that was a cancel, because the hatchery did go down earlier, and we're not fully aware as to what happened there. Oh, as Blink is now done here for these Dark Templar. Now the lair is finished, so we do have some mobile detection available. Once again, 4th base is going to be delayed by those Dark Templar. And Nice is going to rotate over towards that 3rd base. They slip into the main as well. 7 drones go down, and the DTs, they blink away. Nice is being so aggressive with this, and he is pulling TooDming apart. The queens are going down. And what's scary about this is that I don't think Nice has lost too much. I think he maybe lost 1 DT, if that. This is getting a bit out of hand. Yeah, I think he's lost 1 Dark Templar so far. As they swipe away at those Roaches once again, Archon drop into the main base. Throughout all of this back at home, we have Blink on the way. +1, a 3rd base getting saturated as well. Nice, he's up to 72 workers. Oh my god. He is looking far ahead. And again, he can just blink away to safety as well. The Prism has taken a couple of hits, but there's no consistent anti-air, and the Prism is going to be able to escape. Looks like not even. Second DT finally goes down. But that is all that Nice has really lost so far. Again, back at home, he's reaching up to 80 workers, Immortal production, Gateway explosion as well. I would say that the macro, the production of Nice is lacking a little bit. So because that, you can see that he has banked up resources, because his gateways, I would say, are a little bit late, just because he's been hyper fixated on this harass. But regardless, he's just getting so much done with it, and yeah, TooDming is basically forced all in. Now, he does have a large Roach army. He's moving out across that, but he's running into Stalkers. He's going to be running into Immortals as well. Nice is blinking back. Now, do we have a shield battery? Oh my god, a bit of miscontrol. We did a move, and the Stalkers, they got caught out. Half of the Stalkers do go down for free. Now, there is a shield battery, there is an overcharge, and there are plenty of Immortals. Even with that blunder, even with Nice losing, what was that, like 10 Stalkers? 8 to 10 Stalkers. It is still just too much. The music, it kicks back in. Let's go. Charge finished up, +2 is on the way. Blink DTs were harassing across the map, and now it's time for Nice to get out of control. Again, he's got an amazing economy. Now it's time to kick it in. It's time for it to kick in, and now we can just move across the map. We can aim! We can aim, move Papi. Got 3 Immortals, got Archons, Blink Stalkers, everything we need. And it was 8 Stalkers that went down, not 10, in that earlier fight. A couple of Sentries are being morphed in. There's only 1 Ravager, which means Force Fields are going to be king. A couple more Ravagers morph in, but 1 does go down for free. Again, a good Force Fields here from Nice, cutting up the army. And making this concave that much more awkward. And Nice, he can just move on forward. At the same time, the DTs, they come in once again, harassing that 3rd base. 12 workers go down, the 4th as well for, what, the 3rd time at this point. And yeah, we can just engage with the army. You know, this DT opener did so much damage, and Nice has gotten out of control. TooDming kiting back with everything he has, but he just cannot keep up with this army. He's breaking through the sentries though, but it's not going to be enough. The sentries go down, but GG gets called, and Nice will take game number 1. Ooh. GG. And that was quite a game. It was a standard opener out of TooDming, you know, Hatch Gas Pool into a reactive Roach Warren as well. Like, he was, for the most part, reacting correctly to Nice. And if you remember, his spores even finished up just in time. Initially, TooDming did defend without losing anything, but then Nice, he doubled down. He doubled down, went for Blink. He did a great job harassing with his Archons and his DTs. Even after detection got thrown down, he was able to wedge himself in between the bases and still trade so well. And once Blink kicked in, we saw him just pull TooDming apart left and right, and TooDming just could not keep up. It was impressive, and it was also scary. It was, It's really interesting because this variation out of Nice is something that we don't really get to see too often. Typically, Protoss players, after they open up DTs, they transition out of it. You know, they transition out of it a little bit faster into their Forge, into their Immortal production, into maybe even Disruptors behind it. But for Nice to commit into Blink is, again, something that's a little bit more unique to Nice, and something that's a little bit more unique to even PVZ. So that really did catch TooDming off guard. I'm sure after he initially deflected the DTs, he thought it was over. Like, he's like, oh yeah, like I'm fine. I can drone, I can chill. We can get into the next stage of the game. But like, yeah, we couldn't. we couldn't chill, Papi. We couldn't chill. Nice could. As the DT harass just did not stop. And with that, Nice of course takes the lead in the series, and it's going to be TooDming's map of choice, and it is going to be Alkione. And as we get ready for game number 2, a big shout out to Ranger in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session as well. Thank you. For those that are tuning in, this is a catch-up broadcast of WTL. These events did occur a couple of days ago over the weekend, and we were busy casting the ESL Masters qualifiers. We were covering the qualifiers over the weekend for Asia, for Europe, for the Americas, and we didn't have enough time to cover this live, but here we go. We're now catching up, and in the bottom left we have Nice for Starlight Twinkle, and the top right we have for the Starving Camels, TooDming. So welcome everyone, welcome. Hope you guys had a great time. Light's voice is all his music to our ears. Ah, if only. If only, Papi, if only. For now, we're getting into our openers, and again, for the most part, TooDming, he was the defending player. He was trying to react here and keep up with what Nice was bringing out, and TooDming, he just wasn't really expecting Nice to commit as much as he did to those Dark Templars, so it really caught him off guard. Really solid preparation out of Nice. Again, Nice can be a really awkward player to keep up with. it's an interesting dynamic here where for a long time I feel like Nice was the kind of the yin and yang of Taiwan, was Nice and Haas. You know, Haas was like hyper cheesy, hyper aggressive, and Nice was a little more standard. But in recent years, ever since like the COVID era of StarCraft, once Nice claimed the throne of Taiwan, and once he kind of overcame Haas and became the #1 player in the region, it feels like Nice really spread his wings, and he started, you know, exploring a little bit more with aggressive builds and being a little more unpredictable and cheesy and really mixing it up. Not as much as Haas, I don't want to go that far, but enough to make him like a scary opponent, and again at times difficult to keep up with. So yeah, it's really cool to see Nice evolve as a player over the years. It has been really cool to see him kind of flourish and come into his own, especially in his own region. And Nice is definitely a player to keep an eye on coming into the next season of ESL Masters Winter Asia in the regionals. Nice will be a part of that, and yeah, he's going to be a strong contender to have a deep run there. Obviously, Oliveira is the champion of that region, of our region, right? He's a world champion, of course, but when it comes to players that can maybe contest Oliveira and vie for that #1 spot and people that can make him bleed, Nice could be one of them. But of course, the regionals, they're still a week away. For now, we're getting into game number 2, and this time we see a very different opener, from Nice at least. TooDming, Hatch Gas Pool, gonna take the unnatural natural. Everything is looking normal here from the side of Zerg. He does pull out of gas once he has enough for link speed, so he's not rushing into a lair, or a roach horn, or a Bailey nest. Meanwhile, Nice, we have our tech, Stargate, not the Twilight Council this time. So again, Nice just mixing up his build. He wants to stay unpredictable. He wants to make sure that he keeps TooDming on his toes with that Stargate opener, and this should be into Oracles, but it's Nice we're talking about. I mean, he could go Void Ray first, and he could go Mass Void Ray for all I know. As he's just scouting across the map, keeping an eye on his opponents. And there it is. We have our first unit. It is going to be an Oracle. Oh, hello, Ponyo. Hello. Join the castle on a sunny after. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess it is sunny. I guess so. I have the curtains drawn, Fatty. Oh, it's not like this. But the enough they get across the map, and oh my god, they're getting a bit out of hand here. The drones are forced off the line. 4 workers go down, and TooDming is link flooding. He has not made a single worker. He has cut workers here at 19, and nothing but links are coming across the map. Nice. Can he react in time? He does keep his Oracle back at home. He goes for a full wall off. We have a shield battery on the way. TooDming is completely all in. As I say that, he's droning. But he made all these links is the problem. He has so many links here to attack, to go all in across the map, and he's not breaking through. He's getting good surface area on this gateway. He can maybe get a kill, but alas, he cannot. He forces the Pulsar Beam. Second Oracle comes out. And again, TooDming, he's droning, but he is down 10 workers compared to his opponent. TooDming has a lot of catching up to do. Not just when it comes to droning, not just when it comes to workers, I should say, but also tech-wise. Gas, lair. As Nice is just saturating his bases, taking his gases, and working towards a Void Ray. So assault defense here out of Nice. I also appreciate that he's already working on breaking free from his contain. He has already recognized that he is safe and sound and he will not die anytime soon. Oh god! And there it is, we have a fleet beacon. Meanwhile, both Oracles, they get across the map, but one drone goes down. We deny any mining at the natural base as well. Second drone will fall, and there's barely any anti-air. There's one queen! And that one queen dies. Again, this is the downside of the all-in that TooDming went for. Very limited queen production. 7 drones go down. He was already down so many workers earlier, and that's going to remain to be the case, as TooDming is even supply blocked. Ay, ay, ay. So again, TooDming, he has a lot of recovering to do. He spots the Void Ray, but that isn't a tell. Making a Void Ray here makes sense as a safety Void Ray, as a safety precaution. Little does TooDming know we have +1 air attack, second Stargate on the way, fleet beacon, soon to be either carriers or Tempest. Oh boy. This is looking rough here for TooDming. To be fair, it's one of those moments where it's like, you know, you gotta kind of sleep in the bed that you made. Or there's a saying kind of like that, I don't know. Where TooDming, you know, he committed to the all-in, and it's one of those things where if you commit this hard, this early on, and you aren't able to deal any damage, you set yourself behind. And that's the situation that we're in here. Nice didn't do anything special. It's just TooDming committing, and he gets us around. Can he force a cancel? It looks like, he barely will force a cancel. And this is an okay start. This is the beginning of a comeback. We cancel the third base. We keep our opponents at home. This is a good start, but we still need more. As the Oracles are still alive, it looks like an Adept is going to get picked off in the center of the map. What I'm really concerned about is that I don't believe TooDming realizes what's going on. He went for a Ling run by earlier, but I don't think he noticed that the Cybercore was researching. We do have a lair on the way. We have additional queens on the way. This is all fine and good. We'll see what is done with this lair, because we need to react. We need either a Hydra Den or a Spire sooner rather than later to actually have enough to survive the first push. Again, there is a really strong timing for Nice with 2 and then 4 carriers where he can move out across the map immediately and he can try to snowball out of control and break the third base. It's possible. He himself is a bit supply blocked, so that is going to slow down Nice a little bit. Back at home at TooDming, he's mustering his forces. There we go, the carriers have been revealed. They just got revealed by those Lings, and now TooDming knows what's going on. The first 2 carriers are moving out. I mentioned before that this is a bit of a moment or a power spike for Nice, 2 and then 4. And the first 2 are moving out. Now, how many queens do we have? That's the question. How much anti-air available here for TooDming? As he has 5 queens at his third. Spores are on the way. Can we transfuse? I don't think we can. No energy to transfuse. The Spore goes down. 1 queen falls, a 2nd queen falls, and next is going to be a 3rd queen as well. This is snowballing out of control. A 4th queen, a 5th, and that's going to be every single queen going down. Only the Spores remain, and that's going to be it. That's going to be game. And these 2 carriers, they have got the damage that they were looking for. They're snowballing out of control, and this base has been broken. Here come the rest of the carriers as well. Again, this was the scariest moment for TooDming, was surviving the first 2 carrier push, and unfortunately he did not have enough. He was not ready for it. TooDming is getting ready for a big counterattack. He has Ravagers, he has Lings. This is his only chance, his only shot to go for a bit of a base trade, and hey, he's forcing the army back home. Nice is racing back home as we speak. But nothing shoots up. And we haven't dealt any economic damage yet. We've broken through some of the army, a couple of Adepts, a couple of Stalkers as well. We force the army back home. Good Wiles, we take down 6 workers. But that was an expensive army. 7 Ravagers go down, and now TooDming, he can muster up his army, he can consolidate his forces, and he can go out once again, this time with, I want to say, 4 carriers, soon to be 5 carriers. Yeah, there we go. 5 carriers moving out. Hey, man, you thought the previous push was scary. Now this is this is going to do even more. Now, thankfully, the Spire is done, and we have Corruptors on the way. Spores are in position. This third base is looking pretty fortified. I can't say the same about the Natural. That's the problem. The Natural is looking that much more exposed. The Queens are being focused now. The Corruptors move in, and 1 carrier will fall. Up, just barely. We take down 1 carrier. It took quite a lot to make happen, though. I want to say 2 queens went down, 2 Corruptors as well. Yeah, and now we can just dive on this position. It's just too much DPS, too many carriers, and GG will get called. Nice, taking the series, and they need to put some points on the board from our players. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Equilibrium. Oh my god, it is Wayne. And in the top right, for the Starving Camels, it is Silky, holding his breath underwater. How long can he hold his breath for? That's the real question. Someone save him. Send him some air, Papi. Send him some air. As we are getting into our fresh best of 2. When it comes to the format, I should have explained this earlier, especially if you're watching for the first time, but these are best of 2s, not a best of 3s. So the way this works, even if it goes 1-1, even if Wayne wins game 1 and Silky wins game 2, that is it. That is the end of the series. We don't get a game 3 between them. Best of 2s, papi. Best of 2s. And yeah, for the time being, hatch gas pool, standard openers. No one is rushing into like a 12 pool or a gas first or anything. So far, mirrored builds. As we load into Equilibrium, we have seen some Zerg players try to rush into the gold base, so we will have to keep an eye on that. We have seen some Zerg players even take the gold as their natural, but for the time being, standard openers, and we could try to take the gold as a third base. Again, we'll keep an eye on both Wayne and Silky to see if anyone is that adventurous to try to rush into that gold and take advantage of that early on. Is he man or fish? Or a duck? I want to listen to that song again. What? What song are you talking about? I don't even know what the hell you're on. What are you on about, mate? What are you on about? But yeah, for now, we are just get. Oh, you mean is Oceanborn a song? Is it a Nightwish song? That would make sense. That would make sense. For now, though, again, standard openers, we're just going to be droning, and we should be working on our third bases momentarily. We'll see what kind of direction these drones head in, if we go for the triangular third, the linear third, or said gold base. Outside of that, again, it's been pretty by the book so far, and there it is! Yo, the drone is headed towards the gold base. Silky is looking to be the aggressor. He's looking to spice things up here in our second series. The gold has been taken. Meanwhile, from the side of Wayne, he has taken the triangular third base, which is the forward third base. So Wayne, he has the ability to be a little bit more aggressive. His reinforcements will hit across the map a little bit faster as well. But his opponent is looking to get out of control with that third, which I believe has been scouted. Okay, so Wayne, he is aware of what's going on. Bailey nests have been thrown down. Yeah, Lings and Overlord is in position as well. So Wayne should be looking to punish this base to make sure that Silky cannot mine from this without issue, without any contention. There it is, 14 Lings in production. Roach Warren is thrown down. Bailey Nest just now finishes up, and Wayne is moving out. Now the game has become a Silky. Can you defend that? Oh my god, he does not get a drone. It doesn't get a drone in the main, but can he defend the gold? Can he hold? Oh my god, as Bailey's are being morphed in the face of Silky, they're going to be denied. A little bit adventurous here from Wayne. He is going to be punished for it. He is going to be forced back. As the Ling Bane Wars, they have begun. For now, Silky doing a great job at zoning Wayne away. Now remember, Wayne does have a faster Roach Warren, so he should be going for an all-in behind this. He shouldn't be droning. He should be working for Roaches in conjunction with the Ling Bane. As we do see Wayne trying to sneak in towards that natural base, but no, he is denied. He is denied once again. Oh, more Banelings are on the way. So far, no big connections, as Silky does move forward. But all of his Banelings are bunched up, and they are going to be avoided. At the same time, Silky goes for his own counterattack. He does get a kill on the Queen. His gold base, though, still not mining. Oh, still not mining. No big connections yet. 2 drones did go down. And Wayne is coming in from behind. It looks like he's going to break this position. The Banelings, they do connect. And he pushes towards that natural. But the reinforcements are just too much. And it looks like Silky will defend. He does take a couple of rough Banelings to the face, but overall he has held. But remember, Wayne isn't droning. He is making roaches behind this. He is continuing his all-in. This was merely phase 1. And here comes phase 2. Now with roaches, he gets on top of that gold base. He gets us around, and he should be getting a kill on this hatchery. Silky not able to take advantage of this gold. He's going for a big counterattack instead, sending so many Lings across the map. A very bold move. Does he have enough at home to defend? We have 1 spine. We have 2 more on the way. Lings do make it all the way to the main base. Wayne, he is hurting back at home, but he hasn't taken any damage yet. There we go. Drones are finally falling for both players. 5 drones. Oh, the Baneling! We didn't get to see. But I think the Baneling did not connect. Oh my god. Quick moves there from Silky. But there it is, 11 workers go down. Wayne, he was already committed, and he loses 11 workers down heavily here, but he does save his third. He is up in bases, he is up in lava, up in production, but he loses another queen. He's losing queens, good target firing out of Silky, getting a couple more drones. Getting a 12th drone. Oh, as Bailings, they rolled in. Bailings did roll into the main base. 19 drones go down, and now Silky, he is far ahead. He may not have the gold, but right now he doesn't need the gold. It would be nice, to be fair. It would be nice. Doesn't quite have it. Oh, but I don't know if I like this. This is a risky move out of Silky. I was curious. I was about to say that, where's the follow-up? You know, where are the roaches? As for the time being, he's been stuck on Ling Bane. There is no roach warren. We're rushing into a lair, and we are rushing into mutas. Silky has nothing else out on the field. He has these spine crawlers from earlier. Spire is on the way. Unfortunately for Wayne, Wayne is stuck at home. He's stuck droning. He is stuck trying to recover his economy, which means Silky should get away with these mutas. He should get away with the 2-base Spire. Up! Oh, as Lings, they do try to pull apart Wayne. They bait out a Bailing. Bailing has been baited. Silky getting quite a lot done here with these Lings. Making sure that Wayne is as uncomfortable as possible. The lair has been scouted, the Spire has not. So Wayne, he's still in the dark as to what's going on. He can try to piece together that it's going to be 2-base Spire, because he hasn't seen any roaches, but he doesn't have confirmation. He still does not know. Oh. There it is. Mutas in production. Now, what's interesting is that Silky, he's actually investing a lot into upgrades, so his muta count is going to be a little bit lower. We have +1 air attack and +2 melee on the way, so we only have enough mutas for map control. We only have enough mutas to hunt down overlords. We don't have enough to, like, snowball and try to break a mineral line. Which means Wayne is going to have time to react. But he just now starts his lair, which means no Spire of his own, no Hydra Dens. And now Wayne knows what's going on. He has scattered with this Overlord. He's aware. Spores are on the way. And Silky is free to expand and take his own third. Now, if I was Silky, we take the goal. I was sneezing. But at this point, you have map control. Might as well just go for the gold, Papi. Just go for it. He's taking a much more sensible third base location, though. Gonna take the linear third. So very safe base here out of Silky. Doesn't want to take any risks. I understand. But there it is. Hydrogen is on the way. Silky, he hasn't been able to do any economic damage. He's been stuck killing overlords. But here we go. Finally, the mutas are coming together. And they do catch some Bailings. That will allow the Lynx to push in later. Gas is denied. We're waiting for +2 melee to kick in. Before that happens, the mutas are looking for more damage. Whether it's drones, mutas, or drones, queens, or even roaches. And they catch a spore. Spore does go down, trading 1 muta for it. Meanwhile, Wayne, he's already got the Hydrogen. He's going into lurkers. So is Silky. Both players headed towards that late game composition of lurker. Am I crazy? I think Wayne canceled his lurker den. I think he's just going pure Hydra. Bold move here out of Wayne. Meanwhile, the Lings are coming in first round. The roaches do come in as well. Hydras are being focused down one after the other. There were only 3 Hydras to begin with, and now there's only 1. And +2 melee has kicked in. And Silky's getting out of control. Dives on top of the queens, dives on top of the roaches and Hydras as well. And the Lings have gotten out of control. And it looks like Silky, he's done it. He has broken the third base. The bile, doesn't quite connect. And without this third, without this saturation, Wayne, what can he do? Especially with Silky making Hydras back at home. Again, he only made a handful of mutas. I think it was 7 in total. Only 7 mutas. And he has broken the third. 15 drones go down. And Silky will kill, or he's looking to kill this hatchery. He goes for the army. Going for the base, going for the army instead. And he will get it. He'll get the army, he'll get the base. Wayne, yeah, pulling back there in his chair for a moment. GG gets called, and Silky will take game number 1. We have a series. Oh. GG, well played. Again, coming into this, I was going to say that this ZVZ was going to be a little bit more back and forth and a little bit more unpredictable. Ooh, as Wayne is just repositioning his cam. Oh my god. Calm down, Papi. Oh, we're okay. But yeah, Silky, he is the best Zerg player in all of China, and I did think that this would be a closer series overall, but for Silky to take game one, a strong, oh my god. Jesus. The shaking, oh, well, we've disconnected. Oh no. The camera's out. We'll be back, we'll be back. Yeah, Silky is the best Zerg player in all of China, and I did expect this to be more back and forth, but for Silky to take game one and to gain momentum like this, a good start for the Starving Camels, a necessary start for them. Again, they had a rough beginning here with Nice taking down TooDming 2-0. It was, so with this, the Starving Camels, they needed to win this series here 2-0 to tie things up, to give themselves a fighting chance to make it into the ace match or even to take the entire series. Wayne is the favorite player here, but now on the back foot. Now it's going to be on Wayne for map 2. Once we get his camera back, it's once the camera's back, we're going to be getting ready for game number 2. For those wondering, it is going to be Wayne's map of choice, and he can kind of pick and choose where we want to go. When it comes to the builds themselves, again, I did think that Silky, his overall Ling Bane defense was okay. Obviously, he lost his gold, which was brutal, but the amount of counter damage that he was able to deal was insane. He was able to defend against the Roach follow-up as well, and yeah, very nicely done by Silky in the end, pulling apart the attention of Wayne. Again, ZVZ can be very chaotic in the early game, and Wayne just barely couldn't keep up. And here we go. Ooh, is this a wise choice? Wayne is diving into the ocean, diving under the sea, and we're going for Oceanborn, which happens to be home field advantage for Silky. He's already underwater, Pop. Like he's already there. Do we really want to go to Oceanborn? Bold move here from Wayne. Bold move. Now, when it comes to this map and some of the features of it, short rush distance by ground, you can be far more aggressive on this map. You can be very in the face of your opponent, and Wayne may be looking to turn the tables a little bit here on Silky. Here we go. Big man Wayne zooming in. Look, it's intense, Papi. Look, we get what we want. He's like, mate, you want my face? You're gonna get it, okay? And we get mainly his forehead, really, but it's fine. It's fine. We appreciate it. Especially because like not all players are able to use their cameras. You know, there are some weeks and some days where we have to rely on still images instead. So we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Always, always. Much love from Wayne. Especially because some players actually don't have webcams, so I wouldn't be surprised if Wayne is actually using his phone. Like if you just like attach your phone to the monitor or something and use that as a cam instead. You know, we have seen some like Frankenstein setups here from our players to just allow cams to be a thing, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Oreo did the same thing. Oreo, when he played for the CranKy Ducklings in WTL, he actually didn't have a webcam, so he would connect his phone and he would download an app and use his phone as a webcam instead, just so we could see him. Good times, good times. I think he would have like a tower of tissue boxes as well to like set the phone up. Beautiful. But here we go. Oh, looks like we are diving into our game and spawning in the top left-hand corner. Oh my god. Let's go. For Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne, I believe. Yep, going for a 12 full. It's a 12 full versus 12 full in the bottom right-hand corner. For the Starving Camels, it is Silky, and we are 12 pulling each other. Oh my god. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. And I expected aggression on Oceanborn. It makes sense just because of the rush distance. And after losing game 1, we wanted to really spice things up. But both players are going for the same build. Now, there are different variations of 12 pull. 12 pull is usually a macro opener. What I mean by that is you do expand behind it. You do take a base. But there are different variations. Obviously, there's a 12 pull drone pull where you just pull the boys and you just go all in with a spine rush as well. There's also 12 pulls where you take earlier gases, and oh my god, Silky is taking an earlier gas before expanding. Okay, so this is a different variation of 12 pull. This is more aggressive and more all in. Basically, typically when you go for a 12 pool, you go for your 12 pool, you drone up, you take your expansion, and you send your links across the map. And you open up gasless. And you typically, in the mid game, you skip gas for a very long time, which means you skip link speed, you skip bailings, and you get into roach v roach. You get into 2-base roach production. Now, because Silky is getting to gas really early on, this will change the dynamic, and this will give Silky access to higher forms of tech faster than Wayne, if we can make it that far, because the Lings are moving out. Wayne does spot them with the Overlord, and I believe Silky is in the dark. I believe Silky, he hasn't seen these things, he doesn't know about the opener. Now he does, as he does get eyes on the Morphing In hatchery. So a bit of a Spider-Man meme. Spider-Man meme as both players are going to be aggressive, but Silky does get across the map first. He does get quite a lot of damage done. At the same time, though, Wayne, he comes in, he gets one Ling already, and Silky is not quite ready to defend back at home. Uh-oh. Wayne, he's going right for the mineral line. He's going right for the drones. And the gas has been spotted. Link speed is on the way and everything has been scouted. The jig is up. Wayne is aware. Meanwhile, we get us around. Oh, 2 drones go down. That is already too much damage. Yeah. So basically, Silky's all in. He's Ling flooding. He's you can see him shaking his head on cams there. Losing 2 drones is massive just because you only have 12 to begin with. You only have 12 workers. Like, every worker matters so much here. On top of that, he got scattered. All that Wayne has to do is make queens and make a spine. And Wayne should be fine. Meanwhile, Silky, there's no turning back from this. He only has 10 workers. He has to make nothing but lings. There it is. Spine crawler is on the way. Wayne, he isn't cutting corners. He knows that all he has to do is survive and he wins. All he has to do is survive this attack, and that's going to be game. We have 3 queens on the low ground. Silky getting caught out on the map as well. Queen taking a lot of hits. Link speed kicks in. We reveal our hands. The hand that Wayne already knew about. And Silky has to commit here. One way or another, the game is about to end. Either Silky kills Wayne or he dies trying. Here we go. The Lings, they have arrived. And they're going to be able to get us around on the spine crawler, but we have 4 queens here at the ramp. 1 queen is going to go down. Not enough energy for transfuse. We are getting damage done, don't get me wrong, but again, the queens should be able to hold their ground. Oh, as we do get us around once again. Not the best positioning for the queens. Wayne slipping up a little bit here. Again, those queens had a lot of surface area, more than they really should have. But I think we still hold anyway. We just make more lings. Silky's breaking through, but we have reinforcements. We have the defender's advantage, and that should be all she wrote. Silky, he's waiting for another wave of lings, but it is looking bleak here for our Chinese Zerg player. Again, just a really rough start to the game. Did stumble at the gate, and he does manage to slip into the main base. Yo, he's going for drones! Best case scenario here for Silky. He gets 1 drone, but only 1. At the same time, he does try to dive on the queen as well. Good control here out of Wayne. He manages to save the queen for a little bit longer. It does eventually go down. You can see here that Wayne, he still survives, and Silky is still all in. He does bypass those lings. Like, Silky is getting an impressive amount of damage done, despite, you know, being so far behind. Even more drones going down here as well. It's impressive. It's just not enough because of how far behind he is. As the army supplies are comparable to each other. More lings flooding across the map. We can see Silky actually evacuating his natural base. And once again, can he get on top of this army? Good positioning for the much better positioning here from the Queens of Wayne. Reducing that surface area. Oh, Silky getting caught out here. His reinforcements do go down. Yeah, his queen is under threat. Wayne forcing Silky all the way back home. Oh no, we can't lose any more drones. No! 1 drone goes down. You can see Silky is trying to resaturate his base, actually. He's going for a longer game. Oh boy. Silky is up to 14, soon to be 15 workers, but at this point, Wayne can do whatever he wants. He can go into roaches, he can go into 2-base lair. Wayne is just chilling. Big chili, Papi. Oh my god, what's being said here in the chat? As we're cleaning up the rest of these things, the Chinese translation for Oceanborn. Oh, it's GG gets called. And again, Wayne does hold. He survives the all-in very early on. And he does have the series 1-1. Oh, we get a smile. Let's go. GG. Again, even though it was a 12-pool opener from both players, we saw things take very different turns. We saw things take very different turns, and Silky, he doubled down by throwing down a gas geyser and not droning at all, so he was going all in. And for Silky to get scouted, and for Silky to lose 2 drones at the start of the game, that's game-ending damage. Like, that early on, that was already Wayne securing his victory. The execution of Wayne's defense was a little bit lacking. We saw Wayne not have the best positioning with his queens, so a lot of queens went down, more than we would have expected. The spine crawler went down, and we saw Silky actually achieve quite a lot with his lings despite the deficit, but it was still a deficit, and it was still an uphill battle, and it wasn't enough for Silky to overcome Wayne. GG gets called. We're getting into our next series. Now, the Starving Camels, they're still in this. They did put a point on the board. They're not out yet, but they need to win 2 games in a row here to force the ace match. And up next, we have Cham versus Cyan. Here we go. As we have the yellow rankings even rating Cyan a little bit higher here, and I think I might agree with that. I think I might. But okay. The translation for Oceanborn literally means primal amniotic sac, or primal primal fetus seed. Ay. That is the werehog map. There you go. That makes sense. And here we go in the on the left hand side for the Starlight Twinkles. It is Cham. In the bottom right, we have Cyan for the Starving Camels. Looks like no player cams for this best of 2, unfortunately, but you know, we appreciate the player cams that we got earlier today, with Wayne, of course, with Silky, with TooDming, and with Nice as well. We appreciate it. As we are getting into this, the fetus sea. That's like the image that gives the primal fetus sea. Like that sounds so barbaric. I'll leave it at that. It's a very interesting image that I have in my brain. We can move on. Ay. But I'd like to think that, yes, werehog, he does swim freely in those seas. He likes it, Papi. He likes it. Don't drown. As we're getting into our PvZ, again, the pressure is on Cyan at this point. Cyan, he needs to win both games. If Cyan drops one single map here in this series, then Starlight Twinkle will take it in the end. They will take the entire series, as Starlight Twinkle Cham only needs 1 win. For now, Hatch Gas Pull, standard opener out of Cham, is forced to take the unnatural natural. Likewise, Cyan also going for a standard opener himself, going for a gate expand into a cybercore. When we talk about some of these Chinese Protoss players, I do think that Cyan alongside Maxed as well, they're relatively standard. Not too cheesy. What I mean by that is that they're not really one to proxy. They can be aggressive with, say, like a Twilight Council opener, but more often than not, we see standard Stargate openers. And based on the pylon positioning in the main base, it is looking like a Stargate. Well, we'll see though. We shall see. As the probe gets across the map, we do not delay Warp Gates. We go right. Okay, there we go. Warp Gate began, it was cancelled, and then the Stargate had been thrown down, so again, Stargate opener from Cyan should be into oracles, multitude of oracles in towards the 3rd base. But we'll keep our eye on him to see if he does mix it up. When it comes to the more aggressive Protoss players in the region, that's where Firefly comes into play. As so we have Firefly, we have Young Zest or Potato, for example, Jeshi as well. They can be more aggressive. As we are just going to be easing ourselves into this, and as we talk about how Cyan is more prone to like standard macro play, or at least standard play to get into the mid game, we can turn our attention here to Cham instead, as the Adepts are trying to get some damage done, but not quite within range, unfortunately. We can't abuse that position here on side Delta. But Cham as well, he's also typically a player that likes to dictate the pace of the game. He likes to be aggressive and in your face, and typically does go for these more aggressive openers or even aggressive builds. So I think coming into this, my eyes are really on Cham to see if he takes a faster lair or faster roaches. Any kind of faster tech is really what I'm looking for. As the first Oracle is going to be zooming across the map, it's going to be Oracle not into a second Oracle, it's going to be Oracle into Phoenix. The Phoenix, of course, will help keep Cham in the dark and clean things up. Now, this doesn't mean that we're going to be going into like a second Stargate and Sky Toss, or this doesn't mean that we're necessarily hiding tech, but it means that Cham doesn't know if he's hiding tech. So there is value in that. As 2 drones go down, the Oracle gets the hell out of there. Second Oracle's on the way. So again, even though we did pump out a Phoenix, we still have a standard follow-up here. Third base in production. Everything is looking normal, but Cham doesn't fully know that. I believe though, yeah, with these things, he does confirm the third base timing, so he should be resting easy. Should be resting easy. Additional gases are being taken, Lings are forced back. My eyes are now on Cyan to see if he does commit here to a Twilight Council and a Forge, or if he delays his Forge and goes to something a little bit different instead. Back at home, Cham, he throws down his Roach Horn and his Lair at the same time. It was at 4 minutes 40, around the 4 minute 40 mark. Not a bad timing. There it is, there's the Forge and Twilight Council, so it should be +1 alongside Blink or Charge. Cyan does move out across the map. Going to be avoiding those Lings. Getting some of them, but backing off in the end. Just vying for map control, cleaning up some of those tumors. It's a reference to Genshin Impact. Oh, of course it is. Estic, of course it's a reference to Genshin Impact. Aye. Shaking my head. But yeah, we do have our +1, and there it is. It's going to be +1 and Blink, so very standard play here out of Cyan. Nothing out of the norm. Likewise, Cham actually mustering up a Roach army pretty early on. Interesting. He has saturated his third a little bit. He's drawn up to 51. We have 9 Roaches in production, which is quite a lot at this stage of the game. We typically wouldn't be making this many Roaches this early on. Oracles dip in. Get a couple of drone kills. 1 worker kill even, and there we go. Cham, he's moving out across the map. Now, he is droning behind this. This isn't all in. Oh, but he is pulling back home. Looks like the Adepts. Yeah, the Adepts, they draw back his attention. 1 drone gets picked off, and the Roaches have been spotted. Now, the question becomes, can Cyan defend against this push? Because Cham is not turning around. I mean, he did turn around, but like he's still moving forward with this, moving ahead with this plan. You know, +1 range on the way behind this. With range on the way, it does make sense to go into Hydras, not Ling Bane Roach Ravager. So a very dense army coming out from Cham. Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra being the composition of choice. Meanwhile, Cyan, he pushes out, but Cyan shouldn't be committing. He's expanding behind this. He does have some stasis traps to help support himself. But really, he's just cleaning up creep. He shouldn't be pushing into any of these bases. If he does, he will overextend and he will lose some units. So again, he's just skirting the edge of the map. The edge of the creep. Oh, one of those stasis traps is going to be triggered. So Cyan has to be careful. Only 2 left. He rotates around. Yo, he can force a cancel on this 4th base. He can try to. But the Roaches are in position. Cyan is going to be forced back. Hydras are on the way as well. And Cham, he has drawn up to 64. He has taken his gases at his 3rd base. It looks like he is going for I imagine a 3-base all-in. Or just cutting workers here on 3 bases. As I say that, 9 more drones on the way. Cham, he is droning up. Okay. Which means we can head towards Lunkers. We can start taking up even further than this. I'm waiting for it. I won it, Poppy. I won it. Meanwhile, behind this, Cyan has been macroing beautifully. You know, he's on 4-base saturation. We have +2 on the way. Charge. Robo for eventually Colossus production. The Hydras have been spotted. And here we go. Now Cyan can reinforce. Now he can actually commit to a fight. Oh, but he's bleeding out a lot of Stalkers. Not the best blink control there from Cyan. As he's going to back off for a moment. Again, more Hydras are on the way. At the same time, 2 Adepts shading towards that 4th base. And how good is the target firing going to be so far? They are on A move. They do attack the Queens. Not the best use of the Adepts, but there we go. They do retarget, and they get 1 drone. Not ideal. And Cham still refuses to throw down a Lurker Den. Straight up Roach Hydra, +2 range on the way. Now, thankfully for Cham, there's no splash damage. Even though we have a Robo, I think that's the 2nd Robo actually, we still don't have a Robotics Bay, which means no Disruptors, no Colossi. There we go, 2 more Robos on the way. There's the Bay, but this does feel delayed. So because it's delayed, that's why we have 2 more Robos, so it's going to be triple Disruptor production or triple Colossus production, but there's a window. There is now a window available where Cham can try to push out and break Cyan before he gets into that Robo army. Before he gets splash damage. It's possible. And we can hit the timing with +2. But now there's Cyan. He's going to try to keep Cham busy. Cham about to max out. He's on 82 workers. 2-2 on the way. More Roaches, more Hydras as well. No Infestation Bit, no Hive, no Lurkers. Just pure Roach Hydra. Is this going to work, though? Is this going to be enough? Again, Cham is on a timer. And he's going to go here and now. He's going to be slowed down by those stasis traps. He has a 2nd army on the right-hand side. It looks like the 5th base is going to be cancelled, or it should be cancelled. And there it is. 3 Disruptors. 3 Disruptors being built all at once. Cham, he is running out of time. Does deny the 5th. And now he is hitting that 4th. At the same time, his main army is going to be threatening the natural base. TooDming on 4 to be forced to overcharge. Zealot run back coming in. The Novas! The Disruptors, they have arrived. Good Novas here on the Roach Hydra. And there's nothing at home to defend. The Zealots, they wreak havoc. Cyan, he's defending and attacking at the same time. His Disruptors are holding on. The Stalkers, they dive on top of the army as well. DTs come in! There's no detection. The DTs, they hunt down the Hydras. The drones are going down as well to those Zealots. And Cyan is getting a bit out of hand. 4 workers go down. Nothing major, but there was a lot of lost mining time. The DTs, they're pushing out across the map. There is an Overseer on the way, but where is the Overseer? Oof. As he starts template, they even catch some reinforcements. Now, I am concerned. I would like some Colossus as well. Like, the Disruptors are good, don't get me wrong, but a couple of Colossi will go a long way. As detection has finally arrived and these DTs will be cleaned up. But they have done so much damage. They have bought so much time. You can see Cyan getting ahead, taking a lead in army supply. As he does try to catch this army and catch these Hydras. Zealot run by going to the top right-hand corner of the map. Sorry, northern portion of the map. And, oh my god. Looks like we did get a little bit of a pause there, mid-game. But Cyan, he's pushing on forward here. Where are the Disruptors, by the way? Where is the rest of the army? The Zealots, they're wreaking havoc towards the north, don't get me wrong. Hydras, they take down those stasis traps. Cyan being pushed back. And where are those Disruptors? It looks like finally they do join up with the rest of the army. And it's just a gateway army with Disruptors. That's a lot of like 2 Colossi. 2, 4, 6, 7, soon to be 8 Disruptors with the main army. That's a lot of balls, Poppy. That's a lot of Purification Novas. Again, just a couple of Colossi. They can add a lot here to this army just for some consistent splash damage. To risk everything on some Purification Novas. This is a risky move here out of Cyan. But the Hydras, a lot of them are out of position. And here we go, Cyan, he pushes on forward. Show us the Novas. First one goes off. Decent Nova. We have 6 more left. Up. Not the best connections here. As we get some good dodges. And the base will go down. I believe that was all the Novas. Another one does go off and does connect. Cham losing his base, losing a big chunk of his army as well. And this is an expensive army. Now there are lurkers on the Now there are lurkers on the way. Lurker 10 is thrown down. But without them, you can see here Cham struggling to deal with this army. The balls, they don't stop, Bappy. They just don't stop. They keep coming. Even dealing a little bit of friendly fire towards the end there, but it's okay. We can afford to kill some zealots. As Cham is mustering up his reinforcements, we are getting into triple immortal production behind this. It's a kill, not a cancel on that hatchery. Nova's go off once again, zoning Cham back. The hive is done. We have 3-3 on the way. Lurker Den is finally finished up, but it may just be too little too late. The Novas! They connect. Zealot Runby takes down the northern base, and Cyan, he's snowballing out of control. Cham cannot keep up. Not anymore. As you mentioned before, there was a window. There was a window of opportunity where Cham could have maybe broken through before we got into those disruptors, but GG gets called, and Cyan takes game number 1. GG, well played. With that, Cyan, he needs one more win will force the ace match, will force game 7. That's all he needs. Cham needs to fight back here and now, and again, this was a really interesting playstyle out of Cham. It was very committed, very all in. Remember, when he was going for his Hydra Roach composition, when he was denying the 4th base, which he did do once, and then he couldn't quite deny the 5th. But Cham wasn't teching. He delayed his infestation bit, he delayed his hive for a very long time. I did feel like Cham was pretty all in, but once those disruptors hit the field, Cham just could not touch his opponent. He could not push through, could not get on his opponent's side of the map at all. Here we go. Bottom left, we have Cham. And, oh, there he Bottom left, we do have Cham. And top right, we have a Cyan for the Starving Camels. SSLT versus SLT. And yeah, again in that last game he was up against the wall. This is crazy. This is Cham's map pick, and he's going for Radisset Station. All right. Show us what you got, Bobby. Show us what you got. Okay, so this is not unheard of. We have seen a couple of Zerg players pick this map, and usually when they do, it's to be hyper aggressive. We've been seeing a lot of Dropper Lords, we've been seeing a lot of Nidus play as well, Swarm Hosts even, to pull apart the Protoss opponent to try to punish their greed and cripple them. Now the problem with this playstyle is that it's very it's on a knife's edge. And if you aren't able to deal enough damage, then the Protoss will get into Skytoss and they will snowball out of control. So we've seen a lot of mixed results when it comes to Zerg players trying to punish the greed and trying to cripple the economy of the Protoss player on Radisset Station. Again, the idea is that because this map is really safe, the Protoss is going to be cutting corners and being really greedy, and because they're being really greedy, that gives the opportunity for the Zerg player to try to be hyper aggressive and try to pull them apart and try to punish them. But it is difficult. It is a very difficult thing to do. So I'm curious what kind of direction Cham goes in, because this is a wild pick. And it has to be intentional. You know, there has to be a reason for it. Find the little translation funny because it contains Werehog. It does. Werehog. He's inside the ocean. He's there. It's his safe place. For now though, standard openers again, gate expand into a cyber core, likewise hatch gas pool out of Cham. We can see Cham already mining through those mineral patches, working towards his pocket base. I think speed is on the way. Nothing crazy when it comes to the early game. It's the mid game where I'm going to be keeping my eye out for what Cham brings to the table, and likewise how greedy Cyan is as well. And there it is, the beginning of the end. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of Cyan, as to be expected. Oh, there it is. Cham throwing down a 3-minute lair. Oh my god, this is what I was keeping my eyes peeled for. We have seen a lot of different forms of aggression, and Cham, I believe, is planning to go all in with a 3-minute lair timing. This feels like a Ling Queen Nidus all in, but we'll keep an eye on the gases. If we take more gases, we could try to go for, like, I don't know, a fast Spire from the side of Cyan. It is going to be a Void Ray first to shut down these Overlords and to hide the follow-up. But there it is. Lings are on the way. Queens are on the way as well. Do we have vision, though? That's now the question. Do we have vision to actually go for the Nidus? We have the Overlord in the main base being pushed away. We have the Overlord in the natural that's about to be hunted down. Queens in production, more Lings. And, yeah, with only that one gas geyser, show us the Nidus worm. All the adepts are called out. They do recall back home. There it is. Nidus is on the way. But the Overlords are being hunted down. We have very limited vision. Very limited vision out on the map. Cham sending out his Lings. He's going to have to try to Nidus the front door. That is not going to be easy. It's all or nothing for Cham. He does have an Overlord trying to make its way into the pocket base. That is his chance. That is his opportunity. And he needs to take it. At the same time, Lings, they do poke at that front wall, but the Void Ray's on the way. No. Nidus Worm does get thrown down, I believe, within range of the pylon, and there we go. Immediately, Cyan does react. Can he stop it? Can he stop the Nidus Worm in time? We have a slow warp in here, and it looks like he will force against him on the wall. No, the wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood in. The Nidus may not finish, but the Lings do get into the main base and into the natural. Nidus Worm into the main as well. Cham, he has an opportunity. Is this enough? He takes down 4 probes and a couple of stalkers. Shield battery was out of range, and Nidus does finish up. The Queens come out, and they dive on top of that Void Ray. And it looks like Cham, he is taking control of the main base. Can he do it? Initially, it was, oh my god, the Observer's freaking out. But initially, things were looking a little bit rough here for Cham, but the Lings, they flood into the main. They get on top of the production. They dive on top of the on top of the Twilight Council and the Stargate. We got another Nidus Worm here at the Pocket Gold. Pocket Base, even. My mind elsewhere. Pocket Gold. And creep is spreading. Cham containing Cyan here to 1 base. That 1 base is looking pretty terrifying. There are 4 shield batteries, an overcharge, and an immortal as well. But the Nexus is gonna fall. And Cham, he doesn't have to pull the trigger. He doesn't have to go, he doesn't have to try to break the natural. He can just macro. And there it is back at home. Hydrogen on the way. Droning as well. Cham is transitioning. Meanwhile, Cyan is stuck on 1 base. Not just that. Look at all that creep. The creep will be denying an expansion. Oh, the Lings! As they go first round and they catch the Immortal. Force a recall. They won't kill anything, but again, recall is forced. Cham is attempting to go Ling Hydra. More Lings are coming out. Another Nidus on the way. Cham keeping the pressure up. Again, the Nidus at that linear, sorry, at the base on the right hand side makes a lot of sense. Essentially, Cham wants to spread creep all around the bases here of Cyan. Once again, another surround. 1 probe falls, a sentry, a stalker, a bit of everything. Nidus Storm, I don't believe will quite finish, but is on the way as we attempt to go for even more of those sentries. These Nidus Storms being so annoying. But the goal is to get up the Nidus and to bring in more Queens and to spread more creep. And Cyan is pushing out across the map. He is all in, essentially. All in on 1 base. It's all or nothing for Cyan. Can he pull this off? He's got 2 Void Rays. He's got 2 Immortals. He's got a couple of Sentries for Force Fields. He obviously has the War Prism to reinforce and to juggle his units. But Cham, he's building up a Hydra army. And as long as he has some forces back at home, he should be fine. There it is. Cyan does reveal his army. He does reveal himself. And Cham is getting ready for the defense. Yeah, he's bringing out everything. Going for the full surround as well. Only 2 force fields were available. The force fields are not good enough. And GG gets called. Cham, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. And just like that, GG gets called. Cham, alongside Wayne and Nice, they take it. Starlight Twinkle, they will win this Team League match over the Starving Camels. GG. Ah. GG, well played. I was concerned, not gonna lie, after game 1 of Cham versus Cyan, and after I saw the map pick as well, and after we saw the Void Ray hunting down Overlords and shutting down Nidus Worms, I was like, this is not looking good. this is, we're going to the ace match, we're going all the way to game 5. But as the Nidus Worm was being focused down, we saw an opening, and Cham, he was able to flood into the natural, into the main base, and that was the game-winning move. The fact that Cyan had he had overcommitted, he had overreacted, and he had sent everything over to that Nidus to shut it down, leaving the wall wide open and giving Cham the opportunity to actually Nidus into the main and actually